My friends, allow me to introduce you to the brand new Tier 8 Soviet premium medium tank. The Object 168G has good gun, amazing camo and view range, and today I'm going to show you why, despite all of that, this tank is a pile of poo-poo. But let's start from the beginning. The best part about the tank is its firepower. Looking at the stats for the first time, I was rubbing my hands as it looked like a very nice tier 8 medium. So, we have unusual 340 damage per shot, which I think is very good for a tier 8 medium. Good penetration, especially on gold APCR rounds, and also nice DPM. Looking at this, I understand if you are thinking to yourself, hello, iyouxin? This tank looks amazing! I know. Please, stay with me. Back in 2016, I got my first tier 10 medium, T62A, with 320 alpha damage, and I thought at the time that was perfect. With just 3 shots, I was doing 1000 damage. What can you wish more? Now we have tier 8 mediums with even higher alpha damage. So Object 168 German is not something that you want to ignore. But it doesn't matter how much alpha damage or DPM you have. If your gun handling is bad, you won't be able to hit your shots. So let's see how Object holds in this department. So we have good accuracy, fine aim time, and now, drum roll please, -5 degrees of gun depression. Now you might think, well, that's depressing. It doesn't. But as if this wasn't horrific enough, we lose gun depression as we move our gun towards the back. So in reality, we have -5 degrees only in a small spot towards the front, -3 to the side, and -2 all the way at the back of the tank. This is not intuitive. Just by looking at the stats of the tank, you can't tell that it has this issue. And it's killing all the fun with Object 168 German. And here is a clear example of me peeking over the ridge, and just pay attention how much I have to overpeak in order to be able to do damage. Here at the time I did not know about this problem. Aware of it now, maybe I would be picking differently, positioning my tank in a way where I can get full gun depression, reducing my exposure time and getting in cover faster. But honestly, it's just annoying. I think it would be absolutely amazing if Wargaming would change how gun depression stats are shown in the game. Instead of displaying only the maximum value, they should show the full range instead. So, in case of Object 168 German, it would be gun depression value ranges from -5 to -2, because the actual value depends on the gun direction. Gun depression is a crucial factor, and it's very annoying after checking the stats, finding out later that you only get it in a specific angle. And here is an amazing example to showcase the gun depression problem. Right now I'm going to be fighting Karo, and despite the fact that he is above me, I'm struggling to depress my gun to shoot his lower plate. It's exactly this that makes it so hard to play this tank. And in addition to that, we barely have any armor. And the only reason we are bouncing shots from Karo is because we have 50mm sights. I will show you Object's armor model while we are driving into the position in the next battle. But first, we have to finish this round and secure the highest damage I managed to get playing with this tank for 3 days. I hope I didn't make it sound like I was playing with it for 72 hours. It's just not the nicest tank to enjoy, so I stretched recording time just a little bit. So, armor model, shall we? This is Object 168 versus 227mm of penetration. And as you can see, only the sides really can bounce something. But if you are slightly above the enemies, they can pen your flaps. This, in the contrary, Leopard versus Object 168 is gun. And frontally, even Leopard can bounce more. So, with a complete lack of armor, I was playing Object in the same way as Boratsk or Progetto. Every incoming shot is most likely to be a pen, So I was afraid of making pressure, contest important positions, and instead was focusing on punish enemies for their mistakes. However, this passive gameplay, although rewarding, can often lead to losing map control and potentially games. That's why the second I noticed that we are about to lose the base, I decided to cover the flank. Thanks to the DPM of the object and not having to fight on ridge lines, we are going to make enemies bleed. Getting pushed from numerous directions, I have to switch my focus from doing damage to monitoring my surrounding, making sure I'm not getting shot from numerous directions at once. And although winning this round would be near impossible, I don't want to give up and just gift my tank to the enemies. If they want to kill me, they have to come and fight for it. I just can't promise that all of them are going to get back alive. I wanted to show this round to demonstrate that you're not a playmaker, at least not on city maps. And Object 168 shines the most on open maps because of the mobility and, most importantly, camo. But let's start with the first one. Looking at the mobility, you can see we have amazing nominal speed of 60. But because of poor terrain resistance, realistically, we are going 45 to 50 kilometers per hour most of the time. Playing the tank for the first time, Object felt very slow. It takes ages to reach even those 50. And the only time I remember going 60 kilometers per hour is when we tested it in the training room. But even then, I was driving for roughly 30 seconds in a straight line. So yeah, once again, a little disappointment. Looking at the nominal stats, you are seeing huge 60 kilometers per hour, making you feel like the tank is super fast. But in reality, you're probably getting more like 80% of that. That's why I think turbo is absolutely necessary on this tank. Not only to be faster to reach positions, but also to increase our reverse speed. Picking ridge lines, as I was showing in the first game, you have to expose your tank a lot. That's why extra reverse speed is important. In my combat build for city maps like Ensk, I was playing with experimental turbo, gun rammer and stub. I would switch to full scouting equipment with optic, commander vision system and low noise exhaust if I ever felt like there are spotting opportunities. Let's check it out. Our camo and view range are very good. There are only a few tier 8 mediums that have better camo, such as Borask, Lancency or Object 416. 390 of base view range is equivalent to tier 10 light tanks such as T100. This is super strong. That's why I had my best games scouting. On open, bushy maps, this tank is powerful, as long as you don't need to use your gun depression. Scouting is going to become even more powerful once you open your field mods. Specifically, I'm talking about level 5 that increases your camouflage. At first glance, the stats of Object 168 German looks good, but sadly, it's just not fun to play. I felt like I was fighting the tank more than the enemies. The awful gun depression, disappointing mobility, and the complete lack of armor makes this tank very difficult to play. And unfortunately, the difficulty does not feel like a challenge. It's just annoying, especially for not so experienced players. I imagine playing this tank will be nightmare. That's why I believe that Object 168G is a bad tank and I can only rate it 4 out of 10. If you are considering to buy boxes to get a nice tank like Prototypo 6, keep in mind that there is a chance you will get Object 168 or K2 instead. In case you missed my Prototype 6 rating, tank that I believe is the new meta, check it out next. My friends, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I wish you all an amazing day, and I hope to see you here again. Thank you for watching.